Hello, and welcome to Horror Rewind. This is Kelly Florence, and today I'm going to talk to you about the show Russian Doll. It just came out on Netflix today, and it is starring and produced by Natasha Lyonne, and Amy Poehler is also one of the creators. I knew nothing about the show going in, which I think is a good way to go in. So if you haven't seen it or read anything about it, know that this is going to be spoiler filled. But before you go, I highly recommend it, so give it a watch. It has 8 episodes. You can get through the entire series in about 4 hours, which I was able to do today, thankfully, and I enjoyed it. It doesn't necessarily fall into the horror category. It's dark, it's got some psychological thriller, it's got some comedy, there's some drama, but I would also say there is some horror in it. Getting into spoilers, the premise of the show is that Natasha Lyonne dies in the first episode on her birthday, and she comes back and she's reliving this day over and over, and we're not really sure why. And she ends up meeting someone who is also experiencing the same thing. So it's kind of like Groundhog's Day meets Happy Death Day, and it's got a little bit of that mystery element and figuring out what can they do, how can they change the future, how do they reconcile the past in order to move forward. I like the side characters. There's a lot of funny and fun dialogue. There's a very diverse cast. There's a lot of women, which is refreshing and awesome. And I also like how they're trying to figure this out together and also on their own and do good and see if they do good in the world, if they can change their fate. It is heart-wrenching and beautiful by the time you reach the last episode to realize they're in these parallel timelines, yet they are both supposed to be and trying to do good, not now to change the future necessarily, but to help save each other's lives. It's so good. And then in the very last shot, you see that they're both wearing the clothes that signify they're in the same timeline together now, and they both understand and know everything because he's wearing that scarf and she's wearing the shirt, the white shirt that she got from her friend. So I believe they are together and are going to live happily ever after, in quote unquote, if that's a thing. So I really enjoyed the show and I recommend it. I think I'm at this moment going to give it a 9 out of 10. That's how enjoyable it is. I appreciate the title and it's referencing the Russian nesting dolls and all of these parallel people and mirroring and uh, the past that we explored with Natasha Lyonne's character with her mother and mental illness and all of that was really fascinating and some nice um, horror visuals too that we're able to see, especially when she's at the breakfast table with her ex's daughter and she coughs up the blood and coughs up this chunk of mirror or glass. It was pretty horrifying. So if you have some free time, I've ruined everything now for you if you kept listening, but if you have some free time and you haven't watched it yet, I definitely recommend Russian Doll.